cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Way too long, and we don't have enough room for it. And when she blinks, she starts knocking things over. So she ought to be ashamed of herself, and she's going to have no position going forward, which we're very happy about.
All right. From now on, every headline I read that says Jasmine Crockett lashes out is going to be read very differently. Thank you very much, Sean Farish, brother. It's so great to see you, Sean Farish of LFA TV. Appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me. I really loved it. It was a good time.
It was a great time. You made it great. Thanks, Sean. All right, that's it. That wraps us up. I'm back with you tomorrow live from Washington, D.C. I had a fantastic week in Florida, hanging out in the Florida studio. How cool is this? Justin mostly did his job correctly and everything. It was awesome. It was really great. Great to be with you as always. Make sure to subscribe if this is the first time you're seeing this, either to the podcast or rumble.com/Vince. And check out that national radio show, 12 to 3 Eastern each weekday, rumble.com/Vince, or go to thevinceshow.com and look up your local radio listings. See you soon.
Was it really fucking have our show? All right, we'll go back to these guys for now.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah,
you got kids running tractors at like 9 years old.
But again, just for the purpose of it, it's very simple. If you're still a Christian, practicing Christian, and she's not, then the answer is do not marry her. Be it.
Yeah, true statement.
If you both are Christians or you're on the same, equally yoked and all that Christian talk and things like that, then the answer is, yeah, you give your parents the honor that they're due, like listen to what their opinion is. And at the end of the day, if this is the woman that you choose to take as your bride, the second you say I do, it don't like, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it don't matter anymore at that point. And that's where a lot of divorces happen. And that's where a lot of issues in marriage happen. And honestly, that's where a lot of parents are not doing the right job. You're not preparing your children. There are a lot of parents that are not preparing their children for what marriage actually looks like. And a lot of people enter marriage thinking, okay, now I get to have sex with this person that I really, really, really like, but I also got mommy and daddy to help me all the time. And when I have a problem, I call my mom and all this other kind of stuff. If the first person you call when there's a problem is not your spouse, or the first person you call when you got good news is not your spouse, you call your mama or your daddy or whatever it is, in my opinion, there's a problem there. And you need to rearrange some priorities over who is the first person you talk to about things. But that's just me. Any thoughts from anybody else?
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, I grew up with it here big time. I mean, my family was a lot like that. My grandfather, before he passed, he was, basically the elder of the family, and we did nothing outside of Jerry Spears's little world. And, I can understand it if you have a grandfather like I did, who was very wise, very biblically sound, very theologically sound, and he didn't try to control anything. But on the flip side of it, if you get that, like my dad, I love him with all my heart, but he does that a lot. He's like, hey, you shouldn't do this, or hey, you shouldn't do that, or hey, y'all shouldn't be doing this, or you should be doing this instead of this. And, I mean, he understands it. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, time out. Hey, my name's on the marriage certificate, my name's on their birth certificate, yada, yada, yada. And we have that understanding. But there's a lot of families out there that are not like that at all.
Yeah. The respectful way to say it is, I appreciate that. And that is very good advice for your family.
Yeah.
This is my family. Yeah. And this is how we do it here. All right. We're going to do one more call. And if Trump ain't on by the time the call's over, then we're gonna end the episode for today. So make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that repost button. Leave us a comment in the comments section. Final call. Let's go.
Here we go.
My voice is trying to go up.
Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to Dear America. As a reminder, you got 60 seconds. There is a delay, and you are the final caller. So no pressure.
Oh my gosh. Hi guys. This is Tiffany. I live in Urbana, Missouri. I have been watching Graham for ever now. Good morning to all of you. I love you all. My question is, I work in a little restaurant here in town, and my boss hired this very liberal man who is constantly making comments, and I have to keep my mouth shut all the time, or I'm going to be the one that loses my job. My question is, how do I deal with something like that and just kind of go about my day to day? Because I mean, I have to have a job. We're trying to build a house and move on with our life, and I can't really afford to lose it. So, again, love you guys. Watch the show every day, and thank you.
All right. Thank you.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got this. When I lived in Oregon, I also worked in a restaurant with my family's restaurant, and everybody in there was liberal. They all thought that Obama was their messiah, and I got nothing but, when Trump's first presidency, it was always jabbing at, President Trump, he's a blah, 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 and it was always, I can't believe you voted for him kind of thing. He's a blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So I literally I didn't hold my tongue. I said I was respectful with my comments, but I just countered with the whole, with the whole Obama thing with remember Obama threw the Obamacare at us, and our rates went through the roof. We couldn't keep our doctors kind of thing. So you just have to find educated responses to whatever he's jabbing at you, because you don't want to seem like a uneducated person. If you were to have an argument with this person, you need to have your facts in check, so that way you can go back and forth and have a respectful conversation with them, if that's possible with the liberal, which I'm not saying it is. So
Graham?
Two points, and then I'll end it. One, Dear America has over 1,000 some odd episodes. You can just put AirPods in and listen from the first episode up. And part two, I see they're coming.
You
part
called
two,
it too.
Part two, if they're allowed to talk about.
Wow. I've been up here a lot. I've never seen a crowd like this. I think we need a ballroom, and that's happening. It's going to be a beautiful ballroom. This is really a lot of people, most I've ever seen in this room. And we're here for a very serious purpose, Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly, like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth. Much higher. This is much higher. The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. Murders in 2023 reached the highest rate probably ever. They say 25 years, but they don't know what that means because it just goes back 25 years. Can't be worse. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless
Wild
people.
Utes.
And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. Yeah, just like we did on our southern border. Nobody comes through our southern border anymore. 3 months in a row, we had zero. I don't know if that's right, but the people that do the work, it's a very liberal group of people, actually, and they actually said zero for the last 3 months. Nobody thought a thing like that was possible. And, when you take a look at numbers, I just saw some charts. These are different cities throughout the world. Red is... Okay, the red is a place called Washington, D.C. Look at these. Baghdad we doubled up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia, San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogota, Colombia, heavy drugs. Mexico City, I mentioned, Lima, Peru, all double and triple what they are. So do you want to live in places like that? I don't think so. And I think the people in this room, if you wrote correctly, you'd see, look at the kind of numbers we have. DC, 41 per 100,000, number one that we can find anywhere in the world. Other cities are pretty bad, but they're not as bad as that. That where you want to live? The reporters of the world? Juvenile offenders and crimes against persons, as they say. It's getting worse. Not getting better, it's getting worse. And we had a recent indication. There was a story about a man who was just left. He quit because he was asked to do phony numbers on crime. And we're going to look into that. I think Pam is going to be looking into that. But he was asked by the city, I guess, that we don't want to show the real numbers. Let me do numbers so it looks like it's going down. Not going down. And under Biden, it was a disaster. And nobody did anything about it. We're going to do things about it like you wouldn't believe. Every American has a constitutional right to be able to access and petition their government in safety, and countless federal officials and employees likewise have the right to carry out their jobs in peace without being shot. As you know, I lost a very good person a while ago, was shot waiting for his wife. He was in the car. They robbed his car. They shot him. They killed him like it was nothing to it. She was walking to the car. It's a horror show. This issue directly impacts the functioning of the federal government and is a threat to America. Really, it's a threat to our country. We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at Chicago, how bad it is. You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is. We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem. And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C., and we're going to clean it up real quick, very quickly, as they say. Days ago, a former member of the DOJ staff was savagely beaten by a band of roving thugs after defending a young woman from an attempted carjacking. He was left dripping in blood. He thought he was dead with a broken nose and concussion. Can't believe that he's alive. He can't believe it. In June, a 21-year-old congressional intern was tragically killed after being hit by a stray bullet in a drive-by shooting. A former Trump administration official named Mike Gill, fantastic person, was murdered last year in cold blood in a carjacking blocks away from the White House. We all knew him. Great person. Waiting for his wife as she was walking to the car. A Democrat congressman was also carjacked at gunpoint not far from the Capitol. And in 2023, an aide to Senator Rand Paul was stabbed in the chest and head by a demented lunatic as he walked down the street, just absolutely for no reason. Horrifically, last July 4th weekend, a 3-year-old girl was shot in the head and killed while sitting in a car near the Capitol. It's becoming a situation of complete and total lawlessness. And we're getting rid of the slums, too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live. Caravans of mass youth rampage through city streets at all times of the day. There are ATVs, motorbikes. They travel pretty well. Entire neighborhoods are now under emergency curfews. Just this past weekend, gunfire went through, and you saw that, the Navy Yard. I saw it this morning. They saw that they fought back against, they fight back until you knock the hell out of them, because it's the only language they understand. But they fought back against law enforcement last night. And they're not going to be fighting back long, because I've instructed them and told them whatever happens, they love to spit in the face of the police as the police are standing up there in uniform. They're standing and they're screaming at them an inch away from their face. And then they start spitting in their face. And I said,
Hey,
tell them, you spit
Morning, buddy.
and we hit. And they can hit real hard. It's a disgusting thing. I've watched that for years, for 3-4 years. I've watched that. The police are standing, and they're told, don't do anything under any such. So and you can see they want to get at it. And they're standing there, and people are spitting in their face, and they're not allowed to do anything. But now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want. This dire public safety crisis stems directly from the abject failures of the city's local leadership. The radical left city council adopted no cash bail. By the way, every place in the country where you have no cash bail is a disaster. That's what started the problem in New York, and they don't change it. They don't want to change it. That's what started it in Chicago. I mean, bad politicians started it, bad leadership started it, but that was the one thing that's central: no cash bail. Somebody murders somebody and they're out on no cash bail before the day is out. We're going to end that in Chicago. We're going to change the statute. I spoke with Pam and Todd and everybody. We're going to change the statute, and I'm going to have to get the Republicans to vote, because the Democrats are weak on crime, totally weak on crime. They don't know why. They want to stop because they get mugged too. But we're going to change no cash bail. We're going to change the statute and get rid of some of the other things. And we'll count on the Republicans in Congress and Senate to vote. We have the majority, so we'll vote. We don't have a big majority, but we've gotten everything, including the great, big, beautiful bill. Got that done, and that's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to people in this country. They're starting to figure it out, how good it is. Biggest tax cut in history. So many things. But we'll be able to get that done. So, Todd, if you and Pam can draw up things working with the people, I'll get it passed. We'll get it passed with the Republicans. Probably won't get, think of this, probably won't get one Democrat vote, because they have no idea what they're doing. That's why they want men playing in women's sports. That's why they want transgender for everybody transgender. And they just got walloped in an election, in a landslide, and they haven't changed one thing. I saw the other day the certain gentleman who was a very well-known politician, Democrat, was fighting like hell that men should be allowed to play in women's sport. They just don't get it. Right. They said it's an 80-20 issue, and I think it's a 97-3 issue. And I don't know who the three are. I've never heard nobody's ever come up to me, sir, you have to let men play in women's sports. You have to do it, sir. Nobody's ever approached me. I don't know where this issue even comes from. Never seen anything like it. But they turned our nation's capital into a sanctuary jurisdiction. That's the other thing. We have to get rid of sanctuary cities as quickly as possible. We're going to do it, too. We have to. Because it's sanctuary for criminals. Releasing illegal alien gang members onto the streets. In 2022, nearly 70% of criminals arrested in Washington went unprosecuted. That's not going to happen with the group we have standing aside, standing behind me. And at the Metropolitan Police Department, it's now reached a small number relatively compared to what it was, but it's thousands of people. You know, we have thousands of police. I was told today, sir, they want more police. I heard a number 3,500 police. That's a lot of police. 3,500. I thought they're going to say we only have 30 policemen or women. He said we have 3,500. We need more. You don't need more. That's so many. I never heard. That's like an army. How could you need more than 3,000? It just happened 2 minutes ago. Sir, they've requested more police.
Eat.
Oh, what do they have?
Or eat.
About 3,500. I said, 3,500? This is not a big area. It's ridiculous. What you need is rules and regulations, and you need the right people to implement them. And we have the right people here, that I can tell you. Look at the border.
I'll let him in. He's going to eat
Biden
the food.
said there's nothing you can do. Kamala was the border czar. She never called one of the Border Patrol agents who are great. ICE is great. Never spoke to anybody. Never went there.
You let him in?
But she was the border
You
czar.
can eat your food.
And everybody said it was impossible
Eat
to
your
fix.
food.
I fixed it in 3 months. No, really. I fixed it the first week, but really fixed it over the last couple of months. And I mean, literally to a point where, as I said,
Eat.
0 illegals entering our country in the last 90
He wants to
days.
eat the other dog's food
Pretty
so
amazing.
bad.
It's time for dramatic action. We're going to do the same thing over here. It's going to be a very safe city very soon. We're not looking to take years, because a lot of people die in years. And we've got incredible people in this country, except we have to allow them to do their job. And that
He wants
we
to
will
eat the
deliver
other dog's
like
food.
nobody's ever delivered before.
Eat.
I actually
Or
think it's
eat.
easy. You know, if you're competent, it's easy. If you're incompetent, it's impossible. But I'm very competent. Last week, my administration surged 500 federal agents into the district, including from the FBI, ATF, DEA, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, the Secret Service, and the Department of Homeland Security. You know, a lot of nations, they don't have anything like that. They got some police, and they're rough police. They don't have DEA, ATF, FBI, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security. They got
A
some
lot of different
police,
polices.
but they're rough police. When they do their job, they don't have crime. We're not going to have crime either. They made dozens of arrests, and that's what starts to happen.
Eat.
Again, cashless
Eat.
bail. Watch what we do with that. Today, we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was,
Oh, he was going to Alaska.
with graffiti all over the walls. It's another part of it, by the way, because we're talking about safety, but we're also talking about beautification. We have the most beautiful, potentially, capital in the world. We always had. But people come from Iowa, they come from Indiana, they come and then they get mugged. Not going to happen. Keep coming, because by the time you get your trip set, it's going to be safe again, and it's going to be clean very quickly. We're going to replace the medians that are falling down all over the roads. We're going to replace the potholes. We're going to put a nice new coat of asphalt over the top. No, we don't have to rip the road out and spend 7 years building a new road because they cut everything. Because some designers said, well, we need a 1/4 of an inch more turn for safety reasons. No, we're going to do it right. We're going to get it done quickly. So
Come on,
today
guys.
we're declaring public safety emergency in the District of Columbia. And Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's fantastic, is taking command of the
Up here.
Metropolitan
Yep, here.
Police Department as of this moment. And I'll be making the appropriate notifications to Congress and to the mayor, our new DEA administrator, who's one of the top in the country. He better be Terry. If you're not, I'm going to get rid of you so fast. Terry Cole. Terry, thanks. Very good. We just got him. Most highly recommended person. And you'll be designated as
recommended
the
by
interim
who?
federal commissioner
Who
of
the fuck are
the
you listening to, man?
Metropolitan Police Department. Okay? And you run them tough. They're good. You have a lot of good people. You have people that shouldn't be there. You also have people that shouldn't be there.
Be nice.
They got in there because of woke. But you have a lot of great police, and those people are the ones that want to help you. This city will no longer be a sanctuary for illegal alien criminals. We will have full, seamless, integrated cooperation at all levels of law enforcement, and we'll deploy officers across the district with an overwhelming presence. You'll have more police, and you'll be so happy because you'll be safe. When you walk down the street, you're going to see police, or you're going to see FBI agents. We're going to have a lot of agents on the streets. You're going to have a lot of essentially military, and we will bring in.
Oh, froze.
You'll be so happy because you'll be. That's so terrible. He's going to bring in. It's been used many times over the years. I don't think we'll need it. I think we've got so many great people, including the people that are in the police department with proper leadership. They'll immediately begin massive enforcement operations targeting known gangs, drug dealers, and criminal networks to get them the hell off the street, maybe get them out of the country, because a lot of them came into our country illegally. They shouldn't have been allowed in. They come from Venezuela. They come from all over the world. We're going to get them the hell out. They won't be here long. But some of these people, a lot of them, are homegrown criminals. And these are bad people. These are rough people. And this is just a list of some of the people that were given to me today that were criminals removed from the D.C. streets this weekend. They were rough and tough. But we're rougher and tougher. Look at these people here. Nothing, They're not going to be your local school teacher. Look at this guy. He has killed people numerous times. They're not going to be an asset. They will never be an asset to society. I don't care. I know we all want to say, oh, they're going to be rehabbed. It's not going to be rehabbed. I'm going to ask Doug Burgum to come up and say a couple of words because he's in charge, as you know. He's Interior, but he's in charge of the U.S. Park Police. And I've heard so many great things about the Park Police. They're proud of it. They've been there for a long time. Their families oftentimes grow into the roles. They love the country. They love this area. So, Doug, could you say a few words, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the U.S. Park Police, this is the oldest federal police force in the nation. They were formed in 1791 by none other than President George Washington. They've got the awesome responsibility of protecting our nation's most sacred monuments. The National Mall, Washington Monument, Jefferson Memorial, Lincoln Memorial, Statue of Liberty, and out west, the Presidio and the Golden Gate area. These folks have tens of millions of visitors a year, the kind of people that President Trump's talking about that come from around the country and around the world to see our sacred and learn about our history and our sacred monuments. They've been doing a fantastic job, but they are so pleased, the rank and file, that President Trump is now allowing them to enforce the law. As those of you that live in the city may know, that the circles and the triangle parks that are spread throughout D.C. are actually federal park property. So the U.S. Park Police also have responsibility for that. These became littered with homeless camps under the Biden administration. All of you saw that. Since President Trump's executive order on March 27th, making D.C. safe and beautiful again, the U.S. Park Police have removed over 70 homeless camps. And President Trump also talked about beautification. They're stopping and enforcing the laws against graffiti on our monuments. They've removed over 80 specific attacks against our history with graffiti on our monuments. So they continue to do a great job, whether it's in their vehicles, on foot, or on the mounted police that you see around the National Mall. And President Trump, they thank you. The rank and file is
How's your weekend, Toe?
enforcing the law again. Thank you for your leadership, and they're excited about the announcement you're making today.
Great job. Thank you very much. Pete, could you say something about the military?
Well, Mr. President, it's an honor to be here. And at your direction this morning, we've mobilized the D.C. National Guard. It'll be operationalized by the Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, through the D.C. Guard. You will see them flowing into the streets of Washington in the coming week. At your direction as well, sir, there are other units we are prepared to bring in. Other National Guard units, other specialized units. They will be strong, they will be tough, and they will stand with their law enforcement partners. This is nothing new for DOD, as the President noted, at the border. We've got 10,000 troops down there who've been operating in defense cooperation areas, defense zones, where there's zero illegal crossings because of troops on strikers scanning the border. We've been protecting other people's borders for 20 years. It's about time we protect our own. And we're working with ICE and CBP. In Los Angeles, we did the same thing, working with the California National Guard, working with ICE officers. ICE officers deserve to do their job and not be attacked. We will work alongside all DC police and federal law enforcement to ensure this city is safe, this city is beautiful. And as I always say about President Trump to the troops, he has their back. And my message to the National Guard and federal law enforcement in Washington is, we have your back as well. Be tough, be strong, we're right behind you.
Because she's now, as you heard me say, she's really in charge of a lot of what we're talking about. She's done an incredible job. People are going to start to see the fruits of her labor. And Pam, maybe you could say a few words about what we're talking about here.
Sure, President. Let me be crystal clear. Crime in DC is ending and ending today. We are going to use every power we have to fight criminals here. President, thank you for caring about our capital. Families come here every summer. Our museums are free. We have the National Zoo. We have the National Gallery. DC should be a place where everyone can come and feel safe. Behind me and to my side, we have some of the best career law enforcement and prosecutors in the country who are ready to take this on. As the president said, Terry Cole is going to be supervising the Metro Police Department. Gaddy Serralta, our U.S. Marshal, is going to be supervising command and control, the entire operation. Our Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, and I will be working with them closely, along with our great FBI Director, Kash Patel. Kash is going to talk to you in a minute about what we did in Virginia recently with Governor Youngkin. Many of you covered that, and it was tremendously successful. Not only that, our secret weapon here in D.C. is U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, one of the toughest prosecutors and a former judge. And she is going to be talking about juvenile crime, how it's out of control here, and what she's going to do to fight back. No more crime rampant in our beautiful capital. No more teenage girls beating a disabled man to death. No more of that. No more drive-bys. We're going to do everything we can. And working with the ATF Director Driscoll and Commander of the Army, we're going to all work together. That's what we all do in this room. We work together. We fight. Do not underestimate one person in this room. We're going to make DC beautiful. We're going to make DC safe again. One other thing, just at the wharf a few days ago, the area of the wharf, Terry Cole reached out to me, not even nightfall, on the weekend, where so many families and tourists go. A guy's overdosing from fentanyl on a park bench in the middle of families around. They administer Narcan and saved his life. No more of that. The President of the United States is going to clean up DC, and we're going to be there to help him, and we're going to be successful. Thank you.
Thank you. Cash, talk about Northern Virginia.
Hey, Dirty.
Northern Virginia, we had a big success.
Yeah, Terraform.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for your leadership, Deputy Attorney General, the rest of our interagency partners. Mr. President, the following is what happens when you let good cops be cops. And I just want to highlight that before I get into Northern Virginia. This year alone, under President Trump's administration, we've had over 4,000 child victims identified and found. That's a 33% increase from the same time period last year. 33% increase. Yeah, we've had a seizure of 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl up to this date. That is a 25% increase since the same time period last year. And just to put it in perspective, 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl is enough to kill 115 million Americans. 115 million Americans. Cops are getting after it. The FBI has arrested 19,000 people this year alone. Thanks to President Trump's administrations, that's double than where we were this time last year. And we have also arrested 1,600 people who have committed violent acts against children. 270 of them are human traffickers of children. Mr. President, this is what happens when you have great leadership at the Attorney General with Pam Bondi, your administration's priority of protecting the homeland and protecting American citizens and protecting our children. And the murder rates are plummeting. We are now able to report that the murder rate is on track to be the lowest in U.S. history, in modern recorded U.S. history, thanks to this team behind me and President Trump's priorities. And how do we do it? And what are we going to bring to D.C.? What we did in Northern Virginia, thanks to Terry Cole and Governor Youngkin and the team, we stood up a task force out in my Northern Virginia field office, and we said, let's let good cops be cops. Let's get them the intelligence and what they need, and let's get the red tape out of their way.
He probably just has the sound in the background.
Partnered up with us to bring great prosecutions.
Appreciate the view, though. But I need you over on Rumble there, buddy. Oh, frozen on the Pajit. All right, we're going to go over to Crowder. We heard about this all weekend. We knew what was going to change our terms of service. Cool.
I elected and was better at shooting than you and Mr. Guns and Gear combined.
Speaking of...
Listen, what is it?
Sorry, guys.
Go back and look at it.
It's Monday. It takes us a while to get in this. But speaking of drive-bys, when you think your morning commute is bad,
we almost have enough
look
for
at what
an ad
happens
read already.
in London, where nobody can carry, and it's everything wrong with the world.
He looks like he's carrying something. He's packing, that's for sure.
Are you taking the fucking piss?
Oh, he's got no pants on. Letting it all hang.
There's something really disconcerting about a man that bold without pants.
Yeah, it's true.
He's on some great drugs.
Here you go.
Oh, now the ladies are getting up.
And you just saw feminism go out the window. Did you guys see that? Yeah. Really fast. Feminism went to the other car.
But talk to him.
This sequel to Bullet Train's great.
Did they have to kick him like that?
Yes. Do it again.
They kicked him right in the dick.
Just mean.
Yeah. Carry him out by his arms, legs.
It was probably
and
hot.
And
Drop the arms. Air conditioning in the UK, right?
Hold on to the wiener.
Yeah, it was probably too hot for him.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Well, first, this happened in, I guess it was an underground station in East London. Now, to be fair, there was some confusion. Turns out he was on the wrong train, which is an easy mistake to make.
Oh, okay.
My balls was hot.
Sat in the back.
Wait.
Let me ask you this. We were talking about, because this all goes back to the homelessness problem.
Me in the back?
No.
Okay, good.
Gerald thinks it's all.
So,
No, you
it's
looked
not
at
always
me like
about
I
you.
didn't get it. I was like,
let me ask you this.
what?
Would anyone feel bad if, let's say that happened on an American subway?
Hmm.
Bang, 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 bang. When he starts getting violent, would anyone feel bad about that? I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I mean, so you don't know. You have any idea how many people die from just head trauma, getting their head beamed against a seat there? It's like, that guy needs to leave. He's committing a crime. He's getting violent. He's getting unruly. By any means necessary, get him off. I'm glad, they were able to get him off, but it took a lot of people.
It made me feel good.
Yeah.
That there were that many people around that were like, we're not going to do this.
Yeah.
We're just not going to do this.
Well, here's the thing. Remember I told you that that Democrats want to turn you, the law-abiding citizen, into a criminal, and they want to turn violent criminals into their new voting base, right? Well, that's what we're seeing. You're seeing it across the rest of Europe. Keir Starmer, some people think tough on crime because they're arresting 30 people a day. No, wait, sorry. That's you, people for posting memes online in the UK. Wrong thing. Yeah, that's the number of people arrested daily in the UK for posting offensive content on social media.
Would that video be considered offensive content, you think?
I guess if he selfied it for the gram,
not because of the penis, but because of the beat.
Yeah. I was about to say, if it's 6 inches or under, no.
I think they have a different rule for live performances.
This is a live performance. That's what it was.
Yeah,
that's why he was telling him to F off. He was like, "Hey, I'm putting on a show here, buddy. Hey, go bark somewhere else. This is my carriage."
It's live in concert. This sounds different. I want to have a culture where, tell me that you guys don't feel good when you see, a dad who's dressed normally with his kids and beats the ass of a criminal like this. Tell me it doesn't just warm your heart. That's where that's the feel good. I want to see more of that. I want to embolden law-abiding citizens to protect them.
912-941. Correct.
It's like that when in Spider-Man, when all the New Yorkers are like, when Spider-Man saves the tree, it's like, you got to go through us and me, and then Joey Diaz is there. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
It's like that.
They'd be immediately killed.
Yeah,
well, most likely
by the supervillain with bionic arms.
But it's nice
Laser
that they
eyes,
tried.
Yeah.
Miscalculated.
All right.
I just went through all of you. Done.
Let's go to the next one. Beto, and we're going to get to homelessness, and we're going to get NVIDIA, which is, I know a lot of you will say, NVIDIA, what? It's a pretty big story that a lot of people aren't covering. But before that, raging homosexual Beto O'Rourke decided to, you always have to ask yourself, what would the left do? Not what do Democrats do right now? Checks and balances. What would they do with complete unfettered power? Well, on immigration, don't let them move the Overton window because they tell you exactly what they would do. Here, Beto.
Next time we win power, we're going to drive that car like we stole it. We're going to legalize every dreamer, every dreamer's parents, every hardworking American doing backbreaking work that makes this country so damn great in the first place, even greater as U.S. citizens.
Ooh, he cussed, so he's hip. Look, people don't necessarily, about 530-something thousand dreamers are just illegals who came here as minors. They may have enrolled in school, college. But hear what Beto just said. He wants to legalize all of those people because a lot of you think anchor babies. No, because of birthright citizenship is going to be challenged. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about minors who came here, who weren't born here. Those are the dreamers. And he says he wants to legalize all of their parents. Think about that. You'd create a whole new category of reverse anchor babies. Really? It'd be anchor young adults. It'd be bring over someone who's college age, right? You're here illegally. Bring them over so they can enroll, get a student visa. Boom. If they're now a dreamer, all the parents who are effectively glorified genetic coyotes brought them over. So that would pretty much do what? What? Legalize everybody who came here illegally.
Yeah, even if you don't even have kids. The last thing you said, people who are doing back-breaking labor. Oh, okay, so that's everybody else in your mind. In Beto's mind, that's everybody. It's literally everyone. Don't get caught up on dreamers or parents.
My count went from 11 down to 8.
It's
so
just
my ad read
everybody.
Right. So we got to get it back
change
up.
his name to Beto for a reason.
Yes, it's like a gayer version of Pete Buttigieg.
Well, here's the thing, too. They'll say, dreamers, and people go, okay, babies who are kids who were born here, they did nothing wrong.
Friends and
That's a shift. And they go, what about kids who came here and went to school? And you go, oh, yeah, okay, I guess. And then you sort of lose sight of the fact that Democrats, let's be clear, they don't care about babies. They don't care about young students. They don't believe in deporting violent felons who are in our prisons and are illegal aliens. Do you guys know that? Ask any Democrat. Hey, would you start by deporting every single person in our prisons who are illegal aliens or violent felons? Their answer, as a matter of policy, is no. So why should we give them any room? As it relates to babies? No. As it relates to young students? No. And now their parents? That means everybody. That means 15 to 20 million people who came here illegally just under Joe Biden now have citizenship. Voting base. Think about that. And here's the thing, too. Giving amnesty to people. Let's assume that there's someone here who is doing backbreaking work, who's coming by it honestly and has had some tough breaks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because if you give them amnesty, you're incentivizing more illegal immigration. And here's the thing, that will always exist. And the people in charge of crossing this border, they're the worst of the worst. So for every person you see go, oh, she just wants to be a nanny. Oh, he just wants to work in the field. Guess what? There's a dozen who you don't see who got caught in the web of human trafficking. It's their only way in. Tom Holman actually spoke about that, and I think it's an important point that is missed right here on the show.
If they wore my shoes for the last 40 years, if they stood in the back of a tractor trailer like I did, surrounded by 19 dead people who baked to death, including a 5-year-old little boy.
It looks like his suit is 2 sizes
who begged his father not to let him die, but that was the first child to die. When they standing back there and you smell it and you see it and you feel it, when they talk to little girls like I have as young as 9 years old that's been raped multiple times by the members of the cartel. When you get down and talk to that little girl like I did, and you see everything innocent and pure,
Down there messing with the cat.
everything innocent and pure within her has been stolen, and she has no faith in humanity anymore. Her life will never be the same. Wear my shoes for 4 decades and see the travesties I've seen.
Ask Beto, ask Elizabeth Warren Birney. Any solutions to that?
Yeah, because they have none.
None.
There's no middle ground.
Ultimately, they would have to say, well, if you just have open borders, then that wouldn't be a problem anyway. Yeah, but no one's actually advocating for that. So you're not advocating for completely open borders because you have to act like you care about the citizens of this country. Okay, so as long as there is a border, people will try and get here illegally. How do you decrease that? More slaves on earth than ever in recorded history, over 40 million, many of them sex slaves. What do you do?
Yeah, ask the 9-year-old girl that was raped that he was talking about if she would rather just live a poor life with some prosperity, hope in the future, or the life that she lives now because she's been raped repeatedly trying to get to the United States. Which one do you think she would choose?
And by the way, she's coming over in the same caravan as the people who end up picking lettuce. You understand that, right? It's the luck of the draw when you're dealing with the people who are smuggling folks across the border. Human smugglers, human traffickers, I don't know if they're not good bedfellows with basic fundamental human rights. So you tell me, if you're a moderate or if you're a libertarian who believes in soft on immigration policy, what's your solution to that? Because it's only improved as we've secured the border and as we've disincentivized it by deporting people. So Beto, not to be outdone by the next issue on which he is wrong, decided to rail against the redistricting in Texas.
And you don't think it's a democracy when members of Congress can choose their own voters instead of the other way around? So instead of trying to save something that wasn't working for us, how about we build something that's worth saving in the first place? Overthrow Citizens United, pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Adjustment Act so we can vote in the state of Texas, get big money out of politics, remove politicians from redistricting, and return the power, all of the power, back to the people.
First off, a couple things. It's always funny when they say overturn Citizens United, right? That's about getting rid of corporate donations in politics. They always do it after they win and outspend the Republicans, as you saw Kamala Harris. Thank God Citizens United was not overturned in the Kamala, because the only thing that gave her a fighting chance, I'm using that term loosely, was so much money. As a matter of fact, they even kind of skirted the rules, right, where she got the coffers that Biden had because she stepped in, was part of the administration. And yeah, we get it. That's the old Kamala loophole, as we call it. But thank God they didn't undo it when they had the big coffers. They want to do it next time because they believe they have institutional power. And they believe that that'll supersede the power of big businesses, right? They're always going to have the support of the unions. They're always going to have the support of government entities. And they're always going to have a leg up in the media. So get rid of the idea that corporations have personhood and can give to the political candidates of their choice. Here's something else, too. When we're talking about redistricting, I'm tired of people going, both sides do it. Yeah, you know what? Fine. This is what it is, and the left does it worse. So Texas is readjusting, we've talked about this, the district lines to represent the actual voting patterns. The left only has a problem when the right does it, and the left does it a whole lot more. What would you say about a state like Massachusetts? 36%. Voted for Trump. Number of representatives, 0. 34% of the population of the state, 0 representatives. Hawaii, 37% voted for Trump. 0 GOP congressmen. 0. Connecticut, hey, 41% voted for Trump. Representatives in Congress, 0. Rhode Island, hey, 41% voted for Trump. So you think maybe 41% of the representatives, 0. How about Maine? 45%. That's getting up there, almost 50. 0. Don't redistrict. How about New Mexico? 45% too. Hey, how many congressmen from the 0. All right, let's go. Now, this one, we're going to make some progress. New Hampshire, right? New Hampshire can kind of go either way, right? It's the one that kind of separates that little electoral college. Okay, 47% voted for Donald Trump. How many GOP reps do they have? Oh, that's right, 0.
Wow.
Beto makes a good point.
Yeah. You sure about that redistricting? You sure about those fair lines, Beto? We should just sit down and take it and have Crockett represent people who can't stand her very existence.
Yeah. By the way, the state they fled to, Illinois, their redistricting, we've talked about this. The independent groups that rate that stuff rated an F for gerrymandering.
Yeah.
And Pritzker was asked about it yesterday on the Sunday shows and just kept pivoting to something else happened. I don't know.
It's crazy. How do you get Connecticut, Maine, and Rhode Island, and New Hampshire 0 reps.
That's insane. It's almost 50% of the state voted for, Republican.
Yeah.
We need a revolutionary war against New England now.
Yes, exactly.
We need a New England.
Check the references, guys. Every single reference, link in the description. Those ones were CNN and the House website itself. So Beto is pandering. I get that he's inconsequential because he'll never win. I mean, how many times, there's, if at first you don't succeed, try again. If at first, second, third, fourth, you don't succeed, Beto, nobody likes you.
What's he running for?
Well, didn't he run? So hold on.
Is he running for something now again?
I don't
He's
know
always running for something, and he never wins.
But what's he running from?
He's probably running from a dad who didn't touch him enough.
Another DUI problem.
Didn't you run for president and then senator, and then did you do senator again and then governor? Is he going to go for I don't know, maybe start with city council and start building momentum?
Maybe start with Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Try that one first.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe kick flip your way into Walmart greeter. That seems about right for
He
you.
probably can, dude.
Yeah. I don't think you'd meet the minimum
No,
age
right.
requirement, which is 86 for
Took a break
Walmart
yesterday.
greeter. And you have to have a very strong passion for stickers. By the way, best way to follow us here, download the Rumble app. Follow me on the Rumble app. We're live weekdays, 11 a.m., even on Fridays if you're a Rumble Premium member. But the app lets you know when we do special streams, and it doesn't bombard you like YouTube with all that crap. Do we want to go straight to...
Yeah, let's see what he's saying right now.
Okay, let's see what President Trump is saying. And we have NVIDIA, but then we also have a homeless segment. So let's hear what he's saying.
Please.
Mr. President, thank you so much. Can you talk about how personal of an issue this is? You talked about flying over the Washington Monument and seeing the pride of what D.C. is, and do you believe the status of the city, the cleanliness, the way the crime is low, is a direct reflection on how the country is run?
Yeah, I do. I think the Capitol. Look, everyone comes here. They're all coming. All the leaders, they're all wanting to come.
Well, they're
And
coming.
I say it. I've said it again, but I'm really just quoting other leaders from NATO, from the Middle East, King of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE. I was over there. We brought back $5.1 trillion of investment into our country. But a month and a half ago, I was at NATO. We had a great
Yeah, but
thing.
they wasn't serious,
We
though.
put
That's the only
5%
thing they
instead of
didn't win, is
2%.
that one,
2% they
where
didn't pay.
they're
5% is already paid. We had a great meeting, and they all said the same thing. They said our country was dead. They thought our country was gone. 1 year ago, they said your country was dead. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the hottest country in the world right now.
The hottest
The
country. It's a
tariffs have
tickle me
helped.
Elmo
It's
around
given us
Christmas.
Not only the money,
So hot
it's billions, trillions of dollars of money, but it gives us great power over enemies. We solved 5 wars with Pakistan and
That's such a softball
India,
question. He's kind of
we just
missing it.
solved one.
Yeah.
Azerbaijan and
He tends to meander a little bit.
Armenia.
But as I understand it, we have him
always
lasering in on the homeless problem just a little bit earlier. So you know what? Let's just get to this. He was talking about quite a bit today, but really addressing the homeless problem. And you know what? This is indicative of the country at large. Have you noticed the growing homeless problem here in the United States? And by problem, I'm going to be honest. You'll say this is callous. It's now a problem for you. We've been addressing this from the perspective of the homeless, assuming that they're all people who've fallen on tough times or had some rough breaks.
Right.
And we've all wanted to be.
We got an ad read going. All right. Solo. Morning, y'all. What's this? Who do I do? Let's do Gundry MD. Oh, zip it, kitty. Shit. All right. Okay, guys. Hey, don't eat breakfast until you learn about caloric bypass. Your breakfast is setting you up for the entire day to either gain weight or lose it. The term breakfast literally means to break your fast that you started the night before. About 4 hours after you eat dinner, your body switches from the nutrients we get from food to the stored glycogen we have in our bodies. Once glycogen stores are depleted, typically after 8 to 12 hours of fasting, the body shifts to burning fat for energy. Fatty acids are released from fat stores where they are converted into ketone bodies through a process called ketogenesis. Then when you eat breakfast in the morning, the body starts the cycle again. This is where the caloric bypass comes into play. Dr. Gundry, a heart surgeon in California, learned that if you break your nightly fast with something called MCTs, or medium chain triglycerides, you can actually keep burning fat throughout the day and use it for energy. But there are specific types of foods that contain these MCTs. Using this breakfast breakthrough, he was able to lose 70 pounds just through diet, and he did this in his 60s. Scan the QR code or click on the link in chat to watch Dr. Gundry's eye-opening presentation. It could change the way you think about fruit forever. Sounds good? Scan that QR code if you have a second phone, or screenshot it and come back to it later. I appreciate you guys' time. I'll back to the
empathetic. But now it's a problem for you. Crime in your city, feces in your city, your kids not wanting to go to the city, not feeling safe. It's no longer the kind of city experience that you could have once upon a time with a family, and it needs to change. That brings us to the capital of crime. So I guess this is from earlier. President Trump opened the conference declaring that he is in fact going to federalize the D.C. Metro Police. Let's watch it.
Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control. And you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. And you people are victims of it too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe, and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. And we're getting rid of the slums too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live. They'll immediately begin massive enforcement operations targeting known gangs, drug dealers, and criminal networks to get them the hell off the street, maybe get them out of the country, because a lot of them came into our country illegally. They shouldn't have been allowed in. They come from Venezuela. They come from all over the world. We're going to get them the hell out.
And as I understand, we have another clip from earlier. This is all kind of taking place live. You know, this is MAGA. This is Make America Great. This is America First. And what do I mean by that? Yeah, we have a country that is godly enough to provide some assistance if you've fallen on tough times. But we can't do that at the cost of people who are actually honoring the sort of unwritten agreement in society that you contribute and that you aren't merely a drain and a wart on your community. You can't just harm other members of your community, either physically or economically, your whole life, and still be allowed to be a part of that community. We have to look out for the people who sustain our community, who sustain this country first. And those people are affected by the soft on crime leftist approach to homelessness. Here's the thing. It's obviously made it worse for you. It's made it worse for law-abiding, contributing citizens, the American worker. It's also made it worse for homeless people. But as I understand it, President Trump laid out some more plans to address.
He's also taking questions live right now.
Okay, let me see what he's asking.
Before we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for other things, I've heard some pretty bad things. The other part of your question, I mean, we're just going to see what happens with it all. You're going to have, we're going to have a tremendous success in what we're doing. Other cities are hopefully watching this. They're all watching, just like everyone's watching here. They're all watching, and maybe they'll
And Bonnie go for the Joker look.
Clean up, and maybe they'll
She's been using
do
brand
this and get
X.
rid of the cashless bail
She's
thing
going for
and
more of a
all the
two-faced
things
thing.
that caused the problem. I mean, if you go back, this whole thing with cashless bail is a disaster. So many problems came that we never had before. So they're watching us today. And if they don't learn their lesson,
See the
if they
Chiron
haven't
says
studied this
officers will be
properly,
authorized to
we're gonna
do
be very
whatever the hell they
successful.
want.
There's zero doubt about that. It's gonna be successful.
Sounds like something he probably said.
Really
He probably
fast
did, but I
at the border.
don't think he means
And everyone
exactly
said-
that.
they used to say,
I think what he meant was probably
I didn't get any legislation.
by officers, it means like the people in charge.
Yeah.
Military, you're not a military
Yeah. Oh, I see
officer.
what you
You're
mean.
if you're an officer, you're a leader. Yeah, it's not like a police officer.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
You know, our secretary did a great job. They did a great job. There's no games. They didn't play games. And
Wife's
we're
at
gonna have
work,
the
so she
same
may
thing
be
here.
dropping in chat for a second.
But then I'm going to
Let
look
me
at
see.
New York in a little while. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's see. It's going to go pretty quickly. And if we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent. He's an incompetent
He's going to
man.
get attacked for this.
And
The spread.
Of course he is.
we have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. His family threw him out of the business, and he ran for governor. And now I understand he wants to be president. But I noticed he lost a little weight, so maybe there's a chance. You know, you never know what happens. But Pritzker's a gross incompetent guy, thrown out of the family
He's
business.
laughing.
But when I look at Chicago and I look at L.A., if we didn't go to L.A. 3 months ago, L.A. would be burning like the part that didn't burn. If he would have allowed the water to come down,
The part that
which I
didn't
told
burn.
him about in my first term, I said, you're going to have problems. Let it come down. We actually sent in our military to have the water come down into L.A. They still didn't want it to come down after the fires. But that was it. We have it coming down. But hopefully,
And this is a
LA
big
watching.
part of, you talk
These are
about that
maybe-
sort of, 80-20 rule where they force, was it 90-10 where they force the Democrats to take the 10% as far as their position.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
take
20
a radical
seems a little
position.
too generous.
People in Los Angeles, people in New York, people in Chicago, people who voted Democrat their entire life, this is not falling on deaf ears. They're going, yeah, well, it definitely hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Even if they think in principle, more soup kitchens, whatever it is that they do, more programs, more Narcan, they all know it hasn't worked, right? People living in the cities right now know that it's been going quite poorly. We have some stats to back that up, but I know we have another clip. But first, let me read the truth that he posted last
Part that
night,
didn't
which,
burn.
frankly, I was going to say was more brash than this, but not really. He wrote, "The homeless will have to move out immediately. Immediately. We will give you places to stay, but far from the capital. The criminals, you don't have to move out. That's good news because we're going to put you in jail where you belong. This will be easier. Be prepared. There will be no more Mr. Nice Guy. We want our capital back. Thank you for your attention to this matter." And of course, there's always fallout. Poor actual Mr. Nice Guy is not doing all that well from, he's...
Poor guy.
Something tells me he'll land on his feet, though. I think he'll do okay. Hey, there you go. He's probably not called.
All right.
So President Trump
They
says,
say nice guys never win. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think he's doing okay. So here are the three. Let me tell you if I were to solve this. 3 options, okay? If you're homeless. We need to separate those who are homeless to a transient degree. A lot of people, right, they have some tough luck. They're homeless for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. They get back on their feet.
We still have 13
That's an
minutes
entirely
before we
different
can do
group
our
than those
next
who are chronically
15 and a
homeless,
half minutes.
meaning people who remain
Got
homeless
one in.
for many, many months, many, many years. They stay that way for a very long time, no matter what you do. We need to separate those. So the chronically homeless, okay, you've got 3
Cats are
choices.
screaming at me too.
3
They're
choices.
probably out of food.
You either become, if you're not mentally ill, a functioning member of society who contributes, pays taxes, submits to
Keep
drug
those
tests,
numbers up though.
or you're institutionalized, as we used to do, if you're mentally incapable of taking care of yourself, or prison, if you're a felon.
Ding.
Prison, institution, or start working. You can't stay homeless for another year, do nothing, and cause only harm to the community. You comment if that seems pretty fair. We know that that's what we need. Those are the 3 options. That's the solution. And of course, if you agree with that, or if you agree with addressing homelessness at all beyond a blank check, MSNBC says racist.
One of the things that we have seen over and over from the president, from his team, Stephen Miller saying it's like Baghdad in Ethiopia. They seem to hold their harshest criticism sometimes for cities that are majority black and brown. Do you see that, and what do you think that means?
Right. Why are cities majority black and brown so crappy?
I think that I have been dealing kind of with this issue for a number of years. It's kind of easy fodder on the campaign trail. But now we're talking about
Why is it easy?
governing, and my job is to focus on making sure our city is running well, and people enjoy a great quality of life.
Okay.
They don't.
So another Democrat mayor. Okay. How are you going to do that? Let's look at New York. Let's look at Chicago. Let's look at DC. Let's look at Detroit. Let's look at St. Louis. Take your pick. There's an exception. New York City Giuliani. What did they do? Oh, the exact opposite of what you guys have been doing for a very long time. And you vilified that man. Matter of fact, he decreased crime by so much in New York City that Bill Clinton took credit for the national statistics when I believe about a third of all of the reduction was one city as a result of Giuliani. Wow. So quality of life? Where are your answers? Let me explain to you the homeless problem in this country. Okay. Key fact number one. You'll have people come out and go, well, crime has been consistently decreasing. Of course, COVID just threw that for a loop, but that's different from homelessness. Okay. Also, crime is not simply being counted or registered as we look at the recent FBI and DOJ statistics, so you can't fully trust them. But U.S. homelessness is at an all-time high. From 1980 to today, it's increased by 4 times. We now have 4 times the amount of homeless people, mostly in our big cities, that we had in the year 1980. That's a fact. Check the reference. Why? Here's key fact number 2. Big part of it after World War II is institutions closed. We used to institutionalize people who were mentally ill, who couldn't take care of themselves.
He may take a little bit of
there was some stigma because there were some mental institutions that were corrupt or didn't take care of people that well.
Bad practices?
Bad practices, sure. But the institutionalized population fell by 93%. That's an overcorrection.
Yeah.
Here's how you know it's true.
Where'd they go?
Go through Austin, go through DC, go through San Francisco. Pick the first 5 homeless people who come up to you. If you're walking on the street in an hour, you'll get at least 10. Ask yourself, can these people take care of themselves whatsoever?
Read in.
At least half of them, the answer is going to be no. This is not someone who lives in reality.
Premium only.
It's not fair or compassionate to them to allow them to wander the streets. And if they were institutionalized where they could be watched, they wouldn't really know all that much of a difference.
Yeah, it's not 1950 anymore, not 1955 anymore.
Right.
Practices are different. You're not going to just throw a bunch of hobos in an institution. They're going to get lobotomized.
Well, there's also a reason for that too. A lot of that was a lot of that was state funded, and they realized, we could just put them on Medicaid, Medicare, and just kind of punt this to the federal government and get them off our books. So we've seen a 4 times increase. Okay, we've seen just a rampant. I guess does that apply to decrease? Severe decrease, 93% in people who are institutionalized. Here's key fact number 3. Doesn't exist in a vacuum. Of course, the left's policies make this worse. What kind of policies? Well, these are the policies the left have proposed and enacted. Housing with no preconditions. Like, you don't have to quit drugs.
Yeah.
You're homeless? Here's a house. What do you got to do for it? Just take the place that you can stay.
Occupy it.
Yeah. How do you think that goes? Of course, it never reduced homelessness whatsoever. So San Francisco, give you an idea, in 2011, they built enough housing for every single chronically homeless person. Okay? What happened? Homelessness went up. It went up.
Wasn't that when Newsom was mayor?
Was 2011? Someone can fact check that. I believe so. It's around that era. What else have they done on the left? Oh yeah, safe injection sites, crack pipe vending machines.
Wait, what?
It's like the cool parent who says, I prefer that my kids drink in my house, and then they raise a little alcoholic.
Yeah, that's the Monday.
Turns out, if you create safe injection sites, crack pipe vending machines. Well, first off, the vending machines just get trashed and they steal all the crack pipes at once. The problem with crackheads is even when it's a free crack pipe, they don't necessarily have great discipline in pacing themselves.
Well, that's no fun. Pushing a button, waiting for the thing to come up and release it. That's no fun.
I think it's the money part.
Yeah.
It's the pay for the crime. I mean, unless they were free, and then in which case, why have a machine? Just put them out on display.
Well, I believe a lot of the safe injection sites, I do think some of them are free. I know there was free Narcan for a while.
Needles, yes.
Yeah, and then they also, what did? They decriminalized.
I got some.
The same people, by the way, who would like to criminalize speech. We just saw it starting in the UK. They decriminalized crimes like public urination.
Why?
Things like vagrancy, indecency. They're either soft on it or outright decriminalized it. So now you have someone who gets free housing, probably doesn't use it. Safe injection sites, crack pipes, free Narcan. At one point, I know they tried methadone as well. And no consequences for dropping his pants, showing you his zub, and peeing in public. Think about that for a second. What do you think is going to happen? So Newsom actually said this about Trump's plan. He said, more focused on creating distracting headlines and settling old scores than producing any positive impact. Well, let me ask you this. What positive impact have you had? And this is not hyperbole. This is a challenge, and maybe we'll get it in chat later. Can anyone point me to a single example of Democrat policies improving the quality of life in a major city and decreasing homelessness? Any. And I don't mean a blip for a year or two. Any city that has been taken over and run by Democrats for a long period of time where homelessness has decreased and quality of life has gone up for its citizens. Name me one. If you want to talk about hypocrisy, producing a positive impact.
Here. Hey.
Remember that Newsom is the guy
Jared, welcome.
who only cleaned up the homelessness in LA to impress China and didn't deny it.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true because it's true.
I think that was San Francisco, not LA, but either way.
Was it San Francisco?
Same thing.
It was, yeah.
Okay.
You fixed it.
Yeah.
You fixed it.
You
Good.
fixed it.
Good.
Oh, so it's worth it for communist foreign leader, not your own citizens.
No, not for the taxpayers.
Yeah, not the people who pay your salary.
Kids that maybe, would be affected by this. By the way, he took the exact opposite lesson
I agree,
from the broken
75%.
windows policy and the spray painting subways at night, making sure the entire thing was built on this societal thing that if you look at a community and it seems like people care about it, you're going to care about it more as well. You're going to take some responsibility. Therefore, let's fix all the broken windows and let's repaint the subway cars every single night if we have to get people to understand we care so you can care. When you get rid of any laws on public indecency or pissing in the street or vagrancy, everybody can see by those actions alone, that's clear. You care zero about what happens here. So therefore, I'm going to care zero. If they don't care, I don't care. It's the exact opposite that you should be doing. Right now, you should be making sure if somebody's pissing or pooping in the street, one, they might be Indian. Second, it doesn't matter. Okay. It does not matter. Get them out. If it's vagrancy, get them out, because then people start to take pride in their community because they know that everybody else is doing it. It's just this psychological effect that it has on people. It works. We saw it.
Well, we saw this too. John Stossel did some reports on this. I wasn't able to find the stats. Maybe one of you can find them and help me out. With sort of private homeless shelters that are kind of like soup kitchens, where if you go there, you can live there and they'll feed you, but you have to work. You have to volunteer in the kitchen. You have to take part in their job placement program. You have to go through a drug rehabilitation program. Right? These are available. The dropout rate is well into the high 90s. There's people come in, they now have a place to sleep, warm bed, and a warm meal, and they decide, but I'd rather the drugs. Yeah. So again, look, you can say it's cruelty, but take one person. Let's take this as an isolated example. Okay. Take someone off the street. All right. You don't know them yet, but they're just homeless. They're doing drugs. All right. You go, look, we're going to help you. Okay. The taxpayer's dime, but we value the taxpayer's dime. So you go through drug rehabilitation. You quit the drugs. We're going to help you with job placement. We're going to help you with some job training. We're going to get you back on your feet. But you're going to have to subject yourself to drug testing, go through this program, and prove that you're doing the work. Now, if the person says no, absolutely not, the left just says let them back out on the street. I guess we tried. I'm saying you bring them in, you do this and stick with the rules, and there are only two other doors: jail or an institution. If you refuse to do the work, if you refuse to go through drug rehabilitation, you've been homeless now for 2-3 years, you can't keep doing this. So do you want to come back into the fold as a functioning member of society? If that person is capable and they're great, here you go. We'll help you. If not, institution or prison.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are the three options.
You need that push because people are not going to change their lives unless they are forced to do it. There's plenty of research on this, and I have some anecdotal stuff I'll give you after this, but they switched to what they called the housing first. We talked about it just a second ago. They basically said, all we need to do is give these people a house, somewhere to live, and they will clean up their lives. That has proven to be an abject failure. There's zero evidence that is actually working. And in fact, we know the homeless rate's going up, so we know it's not working. When you get people to actually clean up their lives first with the carrot of we will take care of you if you do this, you have great success. Teen Challenge, probably the best, if not verifiably, like I'm guessing based on the stats that I've heard, probably the best drug rehabilitation center that I've ever seen. Combines faith with living by rules, regimented, get your life back on track, and we will let you stay here. If you don't, they kick you out. And by kicking you out, they know you're going to prison. They know. Yeah. So there's this huge motivating factor. You have to clean up or you go to prison. That helps people change their lives because then they can actually go on and live their lives. The housing first and treatment maybe somewhere down the road means we're just going to be funding this problem forever.
Yeah, right now it's, hey, housing, you don't want it? Okay, free Narcan, free crack pipe vending machines. Let's just legalize all drugs. That'll solve the problem. At what point do we start taking you into account? You, the American worker. You want to know how you know this doesn't work? How many people do you know whose grown adult children have come back to live at home? Now, here's one example. Someone comes back after college, they're trying to figure out a job. I knew a family that said, great, come here. If you're going to pay rent or you're going to do these chores, you're going to help mom with the groceries now, you're going to help clean up the house, and you're going to show us that you're looking for a job. I've known a few people who've done that. Every single
It's just his opinion.
one of their children went on to success. I've also known parents just say, yes, please, oh, empty nest, we want you back, with no requirements. Guess what? They still live with their parents. I knew one who lived with his mother until 40 years old because she had no
He
expectations.
used to be a lot more libertarian.
Why
than
would
he
we
is.
think that those who are wallowing in their own filth, doing drugs, and that's a chosen lifestyle, would be any different? You
I
know,
think because
there are solutions that need to be
conservative side
provided.
sells.
Of course, for people who love nuance, they don't
Talk
seem
shit
to
about 'em.
have any in their approach. It's time for Reddit retards.
No, you can't force it.
Here's a response on Reddit from Gergik. Ah, it's fitting. Gergik. They said they'll bus them to New York or California and then claim that those states are being invaded and then have the gall to say that the blue states can't get their act together.
Mentally retarded.
Do you mean like states that have sanctuary cities allowing millions of people to come here illegally who can then go to the other states who don't have sanctuary cities completely unfettered, so we have to clean up your mess? You mean kind of like that?
Right.
Disco Dreams writes,
friendly
friendly reminder that the first people the Nazis targeted for mass extermination campaigns was the disabled and mentally ill.
A lot of people go through the motions just because
Make me happy.
Is that true? Or was it Jews?
It was kind of simultaneous.
I kind of
They were like, let's get the retarded Jews.
Yeah.
Well, they're Jews anyway, whether they're retarded or not. Let's just get all the Jews, it
Look,
seems.
I understand Himmler. He's both retarded and Jew, but the key word, operative word, is Jew.
I want you to focus.
Focus. The Jew. It's the Juden. It's all about the Juden. Now,
wait, nobody said exterminate either.
None of, well, actually,
bit of a step.
you're wrong. One group does exterminate. That's right. Eugenics and euthanasia and assisted suicide. Oh, that's right. The left in Canada.
Oh, the MAID program.
That's right. You can kill yourself if you're depressed. You can kill yourself if you're disabled.
No, they'll do it
If you
for
have a
you.
sprained ankle.
That's right.
They'll do it
Yes.
for you.
Yeah.
You got a little cough.
Also, for socialized healthcare, they have death panels to determine if it's really the juice is worth the squeeze to give you treatment. So there's only one side that's proposed mass extermination. Oh, and by the way, not only currently, but historically, because the Nazis were National Socialists as well. Don't know if you know that. And then, of course, Mao and Stalin. So, yeah, it seems like there's a pattern there. Here's another one on Reddit. Turbulent_AD5674. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest toast to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Yeah. So you understand that people yearning to breathe free. You know what this means when people are tired and poor? Here's the thing. Let's take that phrase when people try and quote the Statue of Liberty, which is not official policy. It's a gift. But okay.
Yeah, the French wrote it. We didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. But even then, the spirit of it is tired, poor, huddled masses, yearning to breathe free.
There you go.
Oh, that's kind of important. So they're tired of what? Not being free. They're poor. Why? Because of an oppressive government. They're huddled masses. Why are they fleeing? They're fleeing an oppressive, thieving government, socialist governments, perhaps the monarchy, to breathe free. Now, that means you can be free. You're free to work for it. They worked in the old country and they got nothing. So they were tired and poor. They're coming here yearning to breathe free, not yearning to get free drugs and never do anything,
Well, they don't
never
come in the
work.
paint buckets anymore. They come
Yearning
in
to leech off a
bags.
state, yearning to destroy their communities.
I guess it's not as
I don't think
recyclable.
that's what it means.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what is this here? Oh, by the way, yeah, that's right. That quote
poem,
was added to the poem. Was a socialist. So here's something else too that I want to tell you. There's if we do have a door number 4, so prison, institution, or you get back on your feet and you prove that you're willing to be a contributor. If not, there is a 4th option.
I knew what you
we
meant.
build a hobo coliseum, and I think that would be. I mean, look.
Timer's up, but it's not popping up yet.
That looks pretty fun.
It does look pretty fun.
I might go. Are there
I'd
sharks?
pay for
Can you
tickets.
flood it and put sharks?
No, you're not going to put sharks. You have to fight.
No, you gotta be humane about it. You're not gonna put them up against the shark. They have no chance against the shark.
They have no experience. You put them against the stuff they encounter, like giant rats,
What about
coyotes.
a rhino? Yeah.
You give them street weapons, like a wrench
I'm
or a
sorry.
2x4 with a nail in it.
Maybe a pack of raccoons.
Yes.
You know, and they got one trash can. They got to catch all the raccoons. They catch all the raccoons. You get to eat one.
Yes. And it's like you pick your weapon, and one of them is like a fake Narcan pen.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be so
Ooh,
stupid.
that's
I
a
was
good
just
idea.
quoting
Maybe you know,
Gladiator
guy
2.
waving
Sorry.
a catalytic converter around.
Yes, exactly.
That'd be awesome.
Do some gaming chairs.
Every time you win a match, you get more copper. You start building a suit of armor out of copper.
Yeah, their shields should be trash can lids.
Yeah.
You know, give it a whole.
Ooh, good freeze. Good freeze frame. All right, here we go. Do it on the other side this time. All right, you've probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech, but puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform. No pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal. Try again. Okay. That campaign went for a whole minute. All right, so check it out. Click on the QR code or in the chat and join us. We have been new people that have been coming out more often. We have been doing some gifting for you guys, so you get a taste of the different content and you get to watch exclusives. A lot of times I'll go to an exclusive for like the last hour or so of longer streams, so we can chat more privately. Peace. Thanks, guys. All right, back to the UD.
Tweaker. How quickly can you strip this home of copper challenge? You know,
Yes.
whoever wins gets
Yes.
to eat. There you go. Okay.
All right.
It'd be cool. You give them, and you treat them like real gladiators.
Yes. Okay.
Not like real life ones, but like just like a real star. You give them a nice room.
Yeah.
You give them, if they win, they get all kinds of grapes or what have you.
Yeah, like a turkey leg.
Grapes and dates and turkey legs.
And all the fentanyl you can eat.
Yeah.
Those of us about to poop salute you.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody knows.
I'd be
All right,
entertained.
whatever, I'm out of here.
I'd be entertained.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
All right, do we want to talk about this more or do we want to talk about NVIDIA?
I think NVIDIA. I think we've done that. Unless we want to check back in with what he's saying really quickly.
All right, let's check back in.
Call it the Hunger
We'll
Games.
But it might be bad. And I'm here for one reason, to get rid of a war that somebody else started. Should have never happened.
I was talking about
And
the
if I could end
Ukraine war.
complex war, a lot of bad blood,
You think?
But Zelensky's been
I thought he hated Taylor
there
Swift.
for 3.5 years. So if you put him in a room,
Russia, now we got bad blood.
I knew he was trouble when he walked in. Trouble. Trouble.
All right, seems like they've moved
The
on.
thing about me and Putin is we are never, ever, ever, ever getting back together.
I don't want them to be. Wait. These are incredible
Shut up.
people. I don't want them to be standing up here on subjects. Does anybody have a question of them? And then you guys can leave. Okay, a question, Brian. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right.
And by the way, this is only on DC,
They're gonna have
and
to
then they're
federalize
going to
the
leave
press room.
because it's unfair to have them stand up here all day long.
I agree.
Brian.
I've got two questions for you. First, about DC. This is personal for me as well. Last year, I was robbed on the streets by one of these teenage thugs. Had a gun.
Wow.
He said that with a hard R.
Let's talk about the effort.
Somebody got fatter in the
Enforcement, prosecutors, and judges.
75, I
because
appreciate it.
You know,
Revolving door.
recycling
No, yeah,
these
you're right.
kids Go, they don't fear the police.
Hard to get out of there under
They know it.
200.
You talk about how we've got to get these judges and put these kids behind bars. Right. Adult crimes deserve adult penalties. And my second
Is that a question?
I'll
It didn't sound like a question.
You want me to answer?
Or whoever it wants to take.
Okay, it's real. Do you want me to answer it?
What the heck?
So here's the
awkward.
problem. Assuming that they're 17 years, older than 17 years old, I can get the case. If they're under 18 years of age, I can only get the case if it's murder, rob one, rape, even if they shoot a gun but don't kill you, I can't get it. So the law has to be changed. As the president said, counsel's bail. That has to be changed. All right. Then, even assuming I get the case, I get jurisdiction, I get a conviction, the DC Council has given the judges the ability to give probation on shootings. And so then it's up to them. All of these things, the Youth Rehabilitation Incarceration Reduction Act, and now they want to seal records. So if we work hard, we get a conviction, they want to wipe it out. So that needs ultimate change.
Oh my God.
Pam, would you
Erasing
He
repeat
gave a pretty
offenders.
damn good answer, though.
It was.
Yeah.
People are like, she's just a TV
awkward,
person.
but-
That was a.
Let's be clear, though. We're going to charge them, and we're going to track every single thing they do throughout every step of the
I think
court.
they've
And I'll be
process.
talking more about this
And
on
report
Hannity
back
tonight.
to
Make sure you
us
tune in.
so you know what's happening to them, because the
the,
people who are prosecuting
press
them,
conferences
the
now.
judges who are trying them, they also need to be held accountable.
Mr. President, you also make the comment.
Yeah, usually she's sitting down.
Most
It's hard to
people
tell.
we've ever seen in this briefing.
I've never seen
ever, right?
I've never seen any. Where's Caroline? Where's my superstar? Caroline. Is Caroline in the back?
Yeah, it might be a little bit awkward, but this also just has the feel of, all right, we're going to bring everyone out to answer these questions as thoroughly as possible.
I don't hate it.
It's
I
as
don't hate
transparent
it.
as
He's
you
like,
can.
I'm not going to speak for somebody else. You know, I hired these people that put them into place.
Yeah.
You don't see this from anybody else.
No.
And it feels more transparent than
Yeah.
than things passed. They don't have to sit there and have somebody speaking for them.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on now. Compare this to Biden. Where, what? Yeah.
He wasn't
Where
even there,
everyone's going,
dude.
What do you think about homelessness? And, bad. We could go, we're going to help him.
That's if you can even get him into the press briefing.
Yeah.
You're not on the list.
Hunter's
You don't
homeless
get a
again?
question.
Oh, no.
People yelling at Biden like this, he'd be deer in headlights.
Yes, he would.
So no, I don't want to make life comfortable. So look. Let's just do this. Let's do this. It's going to be a big thing. We're going to Russia.
We're not going to make it comfortable.
Well, you're not. Russia's
What
coming to
happens,
us.
happens. I'll let you know what happens. You'll be the first to know. I'll be calling the European leaders. I'm going with totally. I mean, we have a lot of talks. They're great people. They're great leaders, actually, and they want to get back. Honestly, as one of them said, I've OD'd on trying to settle Ukraine. They've OD'd, meaning they've overdosed on the settlement of Ukraine. Not a nice expression, but boy, is it accurate. They're tired of it. They want to get back
Tired
to
of giving
spending
money.
money on their countries. Biden gave them $350 billion. Europe gave $100 billion. It should be much more than that. Shouldn't have been that kind of, they should have had equalization, but they didn't. But you know what? Still a lot of money. They want to get back to building their own countries. They really want it resolved. My relationship with
Now,
the
I don't know where he's getting
European
the
leaders,
$350 billion. Someone could maybe
Yeah.
get us the reference for that. It seems a little high. But I will say this. The fact that we are spending anywhere even close to Europe on Ukraine is insane. So there is a real value in bringing that up. You're going, these people who are right there, the people who should be most concerned, who don't have an ocean between them and Russia, who have not been meeting their NATO obligations, really the first time in several decades where it would be appropriate if they're that concerned. Yeah, we've been footing the bill for them, and that's got to stop. Hey, you can support Ukraine. You can hope that they beat Russia's ass. You can also understand that they have people there with a ton of money who aren't spending it because they're taking advantage of us.
You knew exactly
So it's
what you
Europe's
did.
turn. If they want to buy some weapons from us, I believe Vance talked about that. If they want to buy some arms from us, great. we'd be happy to sell them. But that's about it. It's time for you to step up and handle what's going on in your own backyard, as it were. That's a totally reasonable position.
Yeah.
Of course, the left made it sound as though you obviously were in Putin's pocket if you believe that in any capacity. So, hey, that's where we are. Hey, you guys are concerned about it. We're not as concerned about Russia, so you should be spending more. And now you should be spending only. How about that? That make sense? All right, on to NVIDIA. I can never say it very well.
NVIDIA.
But I want to say NVIDIA.
Put an I in front of the N. NVIDIA.
I can't do it. It's like how, what's her name, Judi Dench.
Can you say
would say
invasion?
007. Did you know she would go 007? Doesn't pronounce it
works.
7. And it tricks your brain. You're like, wow, she's ghetto. Dame Judi Dench.
I never thought that.
So there's one company in the world that's been at the center of kind of this trade war and intelligence war between the United States and China. It's worth $4 trillion.
Jeez.
And it's a pretty important chess piece on the board. We're talking about NVIDIA.
He's the founder, CEO, and president of NVIDIA. Jensen Huang, he's producing up to 500 billion over the next 4 years to manufacture the most powerful AI chips entirely in the USA.
NVIDIA ushered in the AI revolution with its game-changing GPU, a single chip able to process a myriad of calculations all at once.
NVIDIA has the Midas touch in Silicon Valley, revenue growth year on year of 200%.
The performance that you get from a computer can increase by a factor of 10, a factor of 100.
This is a smart cookie.
Could you do this without NVIDIA's technology?
We think they're arguably the best in the world at this. I don't know if this would be possible without them.
These are the reasons why people have put NVIDIA's GPUs into supercomputers.
Now, it's been a key point of contention in the United States-China trade war, and some changes have come about recently that I don't know have ever actually taken place before. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's time for Gerald Knows Stuff.
All right, we're going to go over premium, guys. Thank you, everybody who's still hanging out on YouTube.
Spare no expense.
Where the kids yelling, yay, at the end. Huh, maybe that's a different stinger. So really quickly, I just want to say you're not the only person who can't pronounce that. The president said, NVIDIA, and everybody else says NVIDIA. I mean, maybe it's their fault for spelling it weird, but either way, they're very successful. But since 2022, we've had kind of a block on exports of their most advanced chips over to China. That makes sense, right? Yeah. But on Friday, President Trump actually issued an export license to NVIDIA for their H20 chips to China. Now, that chip was the chip specifically designed so that they could export chips to China and take advantage of some of the market that is there, so that makes sense. But what doesn't make sense to a lot of people is how this deal was structured. We're used to import tariff, right? Something coming into the country,